Well, we are now in another building here at Wētā Workshop. We've got these awesome dwarven statues behind us. Dan, tell us about this space that we're in right now.
Yeah, so this is our group tour space, and it's more of an educational zone as well. So we'll do what's called Craft with Crew, where we'll teach people the fundamentals of SFX, sculpting, and leather work. And with that, we also provide a tour past these doors. These dwarven
Secret doors.
Yeah, and the doors of Wētā, not
Yes.
quite the doors of Durin. And here we'll take around school groups, cruise ships, larger groups than the space down the road you would have seen.
Gotcha.
And it's also where we do transformations.
Transformations.
So, are you ready to be turned into one of Durin's folk?
Yes, I would say that I am.
Good. Let's get to it.
All right.
So this is going to be your nose.
Look at that. Oh, wow.
She's a keeper.
I'll introduce you to this as well. So
Yeah.
it's silicone. I can pass it to you.
Okay.
Just don't touch that thin edge there because
Yeah.
that is what I'll need to dissolve away. That's how we get it to sit like nice and flush with your skin.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all silicone. This little magical piece here, once it's glued down, we're going to apply a little bit of isopropyl alcohol to that and the bits under the nostrils as well. And that kind of just makes all this extra bit disappear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. That is a charming nose
It
there.
is a gorgeous one. And it's going to be very fun when we add colour to it as well. So we're going
Yes.
to give it a nice rosy tint. So,
Oh,
the dwarves,
okay.
I love the ale, so you get a lot
Yes.
of that flush
Oh,
going
yes.
on too. Awesome. So whenever you're ready, we can begin.
I am ready. I've never been more ready for something in my life, I think.
Right. So have you ever had any kind of prosthetic or anything applied before?
No.
Oh my gosh.
This is going to take 10 years off you, Matt.
Oh, awesome.
That's a Wētā Workshop guarantee.
That's a Daniel McKenna guarantee. All right, so here we go. Gonna try and get that on you there. Bring it down a bit too. Now the good thing is, even if there's a bit of opening down there, later on we're going to apply the moustache, and
Oh,
that
okay.
little area will be hidden anyway. So the main thing at the moment is I just want to be able to make sure that this nose actually stays on.
Yeah.
And doesn't just fall off the second you start moving around.
So how many people have you made up, you think? Do you have an estimate?
I've lost track, to be
Yeah.
honest. One of my co-workers, Kevin, I've done his dwarven prosthetics a few times, and that's always been really fun. But I've been lucky that I've had it done to myself as well, so I know
Oh,
exactly
yeah.
what you're going through. I got to be a lady dwarf once, but my nose was a little bit smaller. But I did sport a very great beard for
Oh,
that
good.
costume too.
Now, Dan, have you ever had prosthetics put on you?
No, never. But I am getting my first dose of it in a couple of weeks at Te Papa Museum here in Wellington. I'll be transformed into a dinosaur.
Wow.
So I cannot wait. Kylie will again be there. Do you want to hear my only dinosaur joke? What do you call a hiding dinosaur? Do you think they saw us?
That's from Jurassic Park.
Is it? Is it actually? Is it?
Yes, that's from the first Jurassic Park movie.
You watched
Is it
that-
actually?
You watched that like 3 weeks ago.
But I only watched half an hour in. You better cut that out.
No, I'm gonna cut that out and put it on Twitter and Instagram. Just that part. That's the teaser for this.
So once we're given it a little bit longer to adhere, that's when we're going to get rid of all this extra, so you won't have all that blocking your vision, and you'll be able to breathe through your nose again.
Awesome.
And the dwarven actors for The Hobbit would have gone through this every single day during filming. So it requires a lot of patience. It will gnaw away at your sanity.
Silicone will cost a lot, especially in large quantities.
Yes,
so
yeah.
stuff like that being reused is great.
Yeah.
This cannot be reused.
Oh,
I mean, you can
okay.
still pop it on at any point you want
Yeah.
to, but once I've applied the ISO and gotten rid of all this,
Uh-huh.
that blending edge is gone, so you'll never be able to get it fully flushed again.
Right, yeah.
So facial ones where you're going to like actually have it visible connecting with the actor's proper face, one-time use.
Wow.
The foam latex prosthetics sometimes can be reused.
yeah.
But yeah, silicone depends on what type of prosthetic it is and where it's going. So yeah, dwarven hands, hobbit feet in the Hobbit as well.
Yep.
So these
Oh
ones
yeah,
here are
Dan's
just
got
above the
some
ankle.
hobbit
Same
feet.
sort of
Look at that.
strappy there.
Not as hairy as you'd expect.
Yeah. Those are pretty big feet there.
All right. You ready to shave down a little bit of that nose?
Oh, sure, yeah.
All right. What we're applying is what you would be doing to sort of someone more in the
extras,
background.
yeah.
So you'll have a variety of sizes, but you wouldn't be making a face cast of every single
Right.
person's face.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, it's making things work is sometimes part of the challenge of doing all this. All right.
Now, how long have you been doing this?
So I had never done prosthetics until I started at Wētā. So yeah, the stuff I love to make, besides illustration, was cosplay, and I still do that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I did a little bit of makeup stuff for cosplay, but never to the extreme of Wētā.
Okay.
But it was something that I was trained to do when I got here, and it was just so fun. So to answer that question in a really long manner, about 6 years now, I've been
Wow.
doing this.
Very cool.
I'm just trying to get that little bit. It's going to look like I'm taking a goober out of your nose, so it's not something very attractive, but
Getting dwarf boogers out of my nose, there's nowhere else I'd rather be right now.
it's folded up inwards, which is why it's doing that. There we go. Rescued. I might see if I can remove just a tad more of that down below.
Very good.
Very lumpy.
Dan and Emily, you guys have an interesting story of how you met that we started on, but I think you should share because it's quite charming and it involves Middle-earth in a big way.
It's a true Middle-earth love story.
You guys are basically, in the world of Middle-earth, there's Beren and Luthien, Aragorn and Arwen, Tuor, Idril, and then in the real world, you've got Richard and Tanya, Peter and Fran, and this is the third power couple right here. We've got Dan and Emily from Wētā Workshop.
Yeah, we.
How's that for a hype man?
Yeah, I know. I'm quite touched. No, it was back in late 2019. I'd been working at Hobbiton movie set, where you've already been. And you started at the end of the year?
Yeah, towards December, so a little bit before COVID hit.
Matt, she was the most beautiful hobbit imaginable. And we kicked it off from there, and it was an awkward start because of the COVID pandemic, but after that we had planned a Middle-earth road trip essentially, and we hit all the locations.
And each location that we hit, I had to film him reenacting a scene.
Yeah.
He still thinks he's entitled to a few awards for some of the performances.
Fun story, when I recreated Boromir's death scene in the South Island, I was incredibly hungover and I was very pale, so I already looked like I was half dead. Yeah, so that's probably my crowning performance.
Yes.
After that road trip,
Skipping over Edoras as well.
Oh yeah, we went to Mount Sunday. Tell Matt what happened. I'm not telling it, you tell it.
So we did a hike up there, and I was wearing my Hobbiton hoodie, repping the merch. And we got to the top, it was beautiful and scenic, it was quite hot, so I took the hoodie off. I had the car keys in the hoodie at the time. And then I didn't realize, but I didn't have the car keys in my hoodie when we got back to the car. So Dan had to go, like he was on horseback, running back up the hill to search for these keys.
That's a serious hike too.
3 days ride as the Nazgul flies, and I was very unhappy. I was sweaty, I was tired, but it's those kind of moments.
That forged the relationship.
Forged the relationship. And then after that, we moved to Wellington and we got jobs here. So we've been with Wētā for 3.5 years now. And I think we can both say it's genuinely the best job we could absolutely hope for. So yeah, we're very pleased.
So what is the spray stuff that's going on?
I should explain. So what
that's all right.
I'm doing is I'm using a bit of isopropyl alcohol with alcohol-based paints designed for skin.
Okay, yeah.
So the technique that's been used is called stippling. So rather than just painting it on, you're going to end up with brush strokes. It's not really going to match that kind of real layered, speckled colour that skin actually has.
Yeah.
So instead of painting it, we basically flick tiny splashes of paint all around, and we build up layer by layer. So right now, I can still see parts of the original silicone color, but you're already forming a bit of a rosy glow coming on. So as I said, mostly focusing on different kinds of warm reds. I might pull it back a little bit now and then go back in with the red a bit more. But
She's just trying to annoy you by flicking it in your face.
It's always that case of it's polite to let you know when I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's a little stingy. Yeah.
Now, Matt, I told you all about the hair puncturing in our turf space.
Yeah.
Nothing would give me more pleasure than to hand punch every single hair into your face.
Oh, I think.
If you slip me a 50, we'll make it happen.
Oh my word, that sounds dangerous. I don't know if I would trust you with such an endeavor.
I'm going to give you that piece.
Oh, look at this.
That leftover bit from the blending edge there.
Oh, so this was what was around the nose.
Around it, yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I'll just give it a moment to let the paint dry a little bit, and then we're going to start applying the facial pieces. So
Awesome.
Moustache, eyebrows, beard, and wig as well.
Okay. This is a nice little bracelet here.
I'm just
Look
going
at
to take a
that.
moment to
I was
clean
going
up
to
while you
say,
two can chat.
you take that to the grave with you.
There we go. I'll just look at that. That doesn't look creepy at all. It's just like flesh, a flesh bracelet. People think I'm like some kind of, I don't know, Silence of the Lambs murderer thing here. So whose prosthetics do you look at now that you have 6 years experience doing prosthetics? Which whether it's The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, whose do you look at and you think, oh my gosh, that is incredible?
In The Hobbit, for example, like it's all the dwarfs.
All the dwarves.
Because like all of them have prosthetics on, even like Killy and Thorin, who you think, oh, they'll just have like some prosthetic facial hair, but they all have even like a tiny little prosthetic
nose,
at the tip, which is incredible. I think probably Bomber is pretty fantastic. Like as we were saying before, the amount of work that takes to get into that entire piece is probably the one that fascinates me the most.
Now, Matt, I'm curious to know, do you have a favorite character from the world of Middle-earth?
Oh, do I have a favorite? Okay, so I get this question quite a lot, really. So Third Age, I kind of go back and forth between Theoden and Bilbo. And then Second Age, I usually say Elrond. Because, man, that guy goes through a lot. He loses so many family members and people close to him. And then First Age, I will say for bad guys, First Age, Glaurung, the dragon.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I do love your dragons video.
Oh, thank you.
Because it makes Smaug look like a baby compared to Ancalagon the Black.
Yes.
And for your goodie?
For the goodie? Ooh, yes, okay. Beleg Strongbow. He just seems like such a good friend. The poor guy, you know? It's unfortunate what happens to him in that story, but yeah, he's just such a good friend. It's hard to root against him. Glorfindel's pretty awesome too. He pops up in the Third Age, of course, but fighting a Balrog, I mean.
All right, I'm just gonna play.
I love the artwork of him falling with the Balrog.
Yeah.
I can't remember who did it though, but it's a beautiful piece.
Yes.
Is it a relaxing experience? You sat there.
I'm immensely enjoying myself.
You're at peace.
Yeah. I'll send my wife to go get a massage and facial. Like if I had the option to do this back home, I would just be like, okay, you go get a massage. I'm gonna go get transformed into a dwarf. I don't know if she would like that too much, but.
Can I just say, you look already so much, that Kylie has blended in the nose perfectly.
Yeah? Oh,
you look so much different.
It's quite strange to hear your voice coming out of like a dwarf.
I was wondering.
You should be hearing a deep Scottish accent.
I was wondering when I should transfer over. and just start talking in Dwarvish. Baruch Kazan.
You've got some competition, Emily. He's a man after my heart.
Yeah, but I always wonder, like, when I do the Dwarvish accent, I'm like, do you think there's Scottish people that watch this channel? They're just like, screw this guy, you know?
Unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Well, this is what
It's
I'm
like-
sure is every makeup artist's dream, is just like someone who just sits there calmly, yep, do whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
And even before you get the costume on, it's just amazing how much, prosthetics and wigs do as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna use this as a headshot, submit it when they need extras for the next time there's a dwarf-related Middle-earth project.
Does that feel secure on your head?
I think so. Yeah.
Question for you, yeah. All right, I'm gonna start bringing some of that hair forward a bit.
Look at that. So we've got some big old dwarf boots here. We get to add to the costume. There we go. All right.
Out your arms and lift them through. All right, before we tie it up, I'm just gonna help the beard out again.
Oh, yes.
No. You feeling the weight of all that chainmail?
Oh, a little bit. It's not too bad, actually. Yeah. If the 20-year younger me could see current me now. It's like I'm living in the appendices a little bit.
There we go. All right.
All right. This is fantastic.
You need to arm him now, Dan.
Yes. I think your fingers would remember their old strength better if they held their swords.
Oh. Is this Cousin Balin's sword? Look at that. I just want to march on the orc stronghold or something. Yeah. Cute. I talk.
Oh, that's pretty good. Look at the camera. So, Matt, you've been transformed into one of Durin's folk. How do you feel?
This is one of the greatest days of my nerd life. Welcome to Nerd of the Rings. After a hard day of makeup, we're gonna go get a drink at the pub.
Lead the way.
Well, you know where it's at.
You don't need me to hold your hand across the road, do you?
No. To be embarrassing. Just another day in Wellington.
Me and my friend would like a drink, please. So, Matt, you've been transformed.
Aye.
I need to know, what's your dwarven name?
My dwarven name is Kildum.
Kildum.
Yes.
Why Kildum?
Because when you see an orc that's been slaughtered, you say, what happened to that orc? Killed him.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Now, it's been a pleasure transforming you into a dwarf at Wētā Workshop. Cheers to that.
It's been one of the greatest days of my life. Now remember, 'tis the dwarves that go swimming with little hairy women. I'm getting so much beer in the facial hair.
You're just spewing it all out.